This learning is for the healing of Rafael, Tzion ben Michal, Rivka, a newborn boy who is going to be having heart surgery next week, please God, and that everything should be okay. So we are in Parshat Beha'alotcha. That's the third book of Bamidbar Numbers, and it says that when the ark would journey, Vayhi bin Saron Vayomer Moshe. This is there's actually two backwards nuns that demarcate this section, and it stands as its own book of the Torah, which is fascinating because then we'd have 7 books, not 5, and 7 just is a much more significant number in Judaism, so it kind of makes sense. But basically, what's happening here is they're about to follow the ark where to Israel. They're 11 days away from moving into Israel, but this marks the beginning of the bad times because they're basically going to start complaining. They're going to complain against the manna. They're going to want meat, and then that's just going to go from bad to worse until the sin of the spies, when the entire generation is not allowed to go into the land of Israel. So, what's happening here? The food that they're rejecting is the manna. The manna is food that God gave from heaven, and they're saying, I don't want this food that you've given us, I want different food. Rabbi Foreman points out that this is very similar actually to what happened in the Garden of Eden, where they had all of this food available, but they didn't want that food that they had, that God had provided. They wanted other food. And there's a lot more similarities here as well, because what's the curse that happened after the Garden of Eden? Well, they needed to make bread. And now manna is described as the bread from heaven. So it's almost like the punishment that we need to make our own food. Now God is reversing in a way, and in the opposite of the garden, which is the desert, which is where we are, he's bringing us back to that garden experience where he's taking care of all of our needs. When God kicked us out of the garden, he placed 2 kruvim at the entrance to prevent us coming back to the tree of life. Now we're following the ark back to Israel, which is supposed to recreate this garden experience. And what's on top of the ark? 2 kruvim, the same 2 angels that are now guiding us back to the tree of life, to the Garden of Eden, basically. And what is that? Eitz Chaim Hila Machazikim Ba, another thing that we sing when the ark is open. That's the Torah itself. The Torah is the way that we get back to the garden, we get back to the tree of life.